Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. This is Charlotte. This is like one of my best friends now. She's also gonna be my college roommate. Tell them who you're cosplaying as.
I am cosplaying as Cecil from Welcome to Night Vale. If you don't know what that is, you should look it up because it's a super amazing story, super amazing radio drama.
And it's a podcast, right?
It's a podcast radio drama, so you can
find it on iTunes?
You can find it on iTunes.
All right.
It's completely free. Super
iTunes.
fun.
I haven't not watched it, but she's gonna make me. Guys, we're in Denver. We're walking in the line, and we're almost inside.
The doors
Almost
are
inside. Woo! We are in here, and it's been like an hour.
Yeah-ish.
That we've been in here, and we were gonna go into this one session about Sherlock, but it got filled.
Yeah.
And there was a lot more people in front of us, so I feel kind of bad for the people that were like right there.
Yeah.
And not us.
Right.
We're waiting for LGBT comics, and I think it's basically gonna be about comics that people don't know about. Yeah, that have gay characters that we don't know about. Are there very many LGBT people at Comic-Con, have you noticed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is my first one.
We're
She's
all
gone
over
before.
the place.
We're all over the place. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
I miss it. It feels like it's been a long day.
It's adventure time.
Thank you.
It's... What time is it? It's 2:30.
Okay, so it's 2:30 and it already feels like a long day.
We've been here since 9.
The panel that we were at, the first one that we went to was the LGBT comics, and
That was
basically
cool.
was the LGBT comics, and
That was
basically
We talked about that in the... Oh, no, we didn't talk about
no,
that
we didn't talk about what happened. So what happened was there was a transgendered woman, a gay man, a queer woman, a gay man, and the writer and artist for Archie Comics,
Who created Kevin Keller.
who's they're
The
now
first openly
gay
Archie.
And he made a
character.
joke about Jughead because we all know he might be gay, but he's not
said
out.
openly
He
gay,
said openly
yeah.
gay. So
I ship it.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even realize there was a gay comic book faction of the comic book.
Yeah. It was
industry,
interesting to see what they had to say
Yeah.
about
And their-
representation and
yeah.
advocacy.
And their
stuff.
life experience. So I think the transgendered woman had a lot harder time than the rest of them.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a more difficult concept
Yeah.
for people to wrap their head around.
And going to places where you know you're not being accepted is kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
But I mean, like she said, you need to be out there. Like you can't hide.
Right.
And at that point in her life, she was tired of hiding. So
Right.
So it was a really interesting panel to go to. And then we went to the exhibition hall and looked at some of the
All of the things.
Oh yeah. So and by
I got
some of
my
and all of the things, we looked at merchandise
I got
and
my-
artists.
Backpack signed by George Genty.
Who's the artist for
the Buffy comics, Firefly, Serenity comics,
some other stuff.
Catwoman.
Oh
he
yeah,
did
we saw a
too.
Catwoman one. Yeah.
He's
So
amazing.
I really recommend the Buffy comic. Yeah. And then we're going to, for the rest of the night, I think we're doing Walter Koenig, who was the original Chekhov on Star Trek. So you should watch the original Star Trek because he's amazing on it.
Yeah.
He only comes in he starts in the second season, but obviously you have to watch the first season because you're silly if you don't. So we're gonna see Walter Koenig. He's obviously old, but who cares? Because he's Chekhov. And then we're gonna see LeVar Burton, who was in which Star Trek was he in?
Next Generation.
Next Generation, okay.
Next Generation,
And Reading Rainbow,
which has just gotten the
my
enough funds
childhood.
to start again, which is wonderful.
Oh my
to
God.
need programs like
And
that.
he's also very supportive of the LGBT
Oh God, yeah.
human rights campaign. So if you don't like LeVar Burton, like him because he's
Yeah.
he's one of us. This is Friday. of Comic-Con. We've got 2 more days of craziness.
Reading Rainbow. Wow, you guys sound good. Denver.
Go again.
Did she throw a rock? You had scissors too? Okay, last one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
So as you can see, she is now clean from her cosplay, and we're back in our hotel right before we're going to go to the pool. And we just wanted to talk about the panels that we went to with Walter Koenig and LeVar Burton. And he's 77 years old, so he's pretty awesome.
He was so
he was
cool.
adorable.
He was adorable, and he was funny, and
Yeah.
he was witty,
Yeah.
and
He had amazing stories.
yeah.
And he is really interesting because a lot of people bash his Chekhov accent. And I originally thought that he had no relation to Russia, and Anton Yelchin kept his accent just because it's Star Trek and vessels, nuclear vessels, and you can't take away
the nuclear vessels.
you can't take that away. And so he was talking about it, and he was saying how Russian comes in different dialects, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, English comes in so many
I almost
different.
said American comes in different dialects.
English comes in so many different dialects that it just makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So it was really interesting to hear his perspective about his own accent.
Yeah.
And by the way, his father comes from Russia, so
his father
I
has
think
has a
he's
Russian
knowledgeable about Russian and Russian accent. On to LeVar Burton.
LeVar was just. I was
gonna cry
sobbing.
the entire
I was
time.
just crying. I asked him a question, and I could hardly get through it because I was just crying so much. Not because I was like, this excited fangirl that was excited to see him, but because the panel was genuinely just heartwarming.
Well, and considering we grew up with him, and
yeah, I mean we grew up
he's
reading Rainbow.
like really the reason like most of us read, to be honest.
He was so sassy too.
Oh my god,
he was so funny.
He's just so much personality. Like, I mean, Walter Koenig had personality too. They both have a lot of personality. Like, they're 2 different people with 2 different perspectives on life, but so much personality. And having one right after the other was just phenomenal.
It was
like
really
it was
cool.
like an honor because
It was also 2 Star Treks in a row.
I
mean,
know
that
2
was
Star Treks in a row.
I mean, different series, but
But still,
yeah.
But
that's a question for your subscribers. What series Star Trek fan are you? And if you're not a Star Trek fan,
why?
What why? Or what fandom are you in?
Yeah. Well, I'm in all the fandoms.
In all of the fandoms.
All of them.